Hello, madam. Thanks a lot for your letter. I just read through it. I actually read it 3 times because I wanted to make sure that I was able to fully process the message and ensure that I did not misinterpret anything in the letter. I think it's a wonderful initiative. However, I think it's missing a few things. I am very sure that if I had not experienced abuse at the hands of a woman and at a point at the hands of the child I share with the woman, I am very sure that I would have jumped on this opportunity without even thinking about it twice. But because not only have I experienced abuse at the hands of a woman that I have been with for 20 years, but also because I have, since the time I started publishing my newsletter and in the last 1 month, been interacting extensively with a lot of men who have been telling me all sorts of stories. And also because of the network on social media that has really been very helpful to me, like the one you see, the screenshot I posted to you, which came from AY, the comedian, which have highlighted, it's kind of thrown up what some young women, typically between the ages of 25 to 40, generally that age group, have been saying. They tend not to hide their feelings. They speak, and they speak about these things with so much, how do I put it now? Confidence, conviction. Yeah, that's the word, conviction. They are so sure that they are right. So if you read that message, like I said in the rejoinder I posted, which I shared to my wall, and funny enough, it's been interesting the reaction it has gotten. Apart from those, most people don't want to put themselves on the spot by kind of voicing agreement with things like that openly. Many men, they don't do that. What they do is they come into the inbox. I've told you that before. They come into the inbox. If they don't come to the inbox, they pick up the phone and call. And it's clear that actually, like I said in that rejoinder, the females that feel that way today are not in the minority. They are a significant number, not necessarily the majority either, but they are certainly not few. And there are some that don't bother to even say what they feel. They just act along the lines of in line with their feelings. So, without wanting to take your time, what I'm trying to say is this: the message that your captive wants to send, as far as I'm concerned, given the experience I've had and the vision I've set for myself in my work on domestic violence against men, even as I do not discountenance what women are going through, and I do offer my support where necessary, I still understand and believe strongly, based on my experiences, that men need help. And so my vision, it's a bit at very the only way I will be able to feel comfortable coming on board will be if the issues I'm raising, all right, are reflected in the content that's going to be delivered as part of the. In other words, for instance, the young men need to know that they are an endangered species. This is the truth. It's not alarmist. I can give you real life case study examples. As I speak to you, there's a case that was handled yesterday by an agency. They are into human rights advocacy, and I witnessed the whole thing. I watched the 3-hour video. To think that a mother and a daughter could do that, the way the daughter was behaving in the recording, this was a live recording. The conduct of the daughter, the utterances of the mother, and then the demeanor of the man, everybody, it was clear to everybody. And eventually the daughter owned up to the fact that they were lying. The fact that they could even put the man through that at all, this is something that happened just yesterday. So the fact that kind of thing can happen to the man, where would he have gone? In fact, funny enough, he didn't come to report them. They came to report him. The objective, madam, I'm sorry, but let me not just ramble on. The point I'm making is this: whether we like it or not, it may not be pleasant to us. I don't like the idea too, because I have a mother, I have sisters, but there are bad women, and their numbers are not few, and they are teaching one another these bad things. And it is important that we empower our young men to remain or to mature into real men. Real men are not men that go around trying to be agreeable to everything women say so that they look that they are progressive minded. Those are not men. A man who has no spine is not a man. What we need are real men. We need men who can assert themselves when it is necessary. because that is what it means to be a man. You are not a man when every time you are trying to mold yourself to be on the right side of women because you think being at variance with what women are saying, even if you know you are right, is wrong. That's not being a man. We don't help society when we create such men, what we call the feminine men. We don't need that. And unfortunately, or is it fortunately, this is not the West. This is Africa. And I refuse to subscribe to the model that is used from the West. I don't believe in the feminist movement. And if you look at the last news that I just sent to you, you will see what Candace Owens said there. I don't even agree with her politically. She's a member of the Republican Party in America, and I don't like her views on politics. But I certainly stand behind her regarding what she said about the pandemic in America, regarding what's happening to men in the household.
The biggest issue facing Black America is father absence. We have children that are growing up without their fathers in the home, and that is being incentivized by the government right now via the welfare system. When the government says we'll give you more money if you don't marry the father of your children, you are incentivizing bad behavior in our community. What happens when you remove a father from the home? This is why I do not mess with feminism at all. I'm not with it. This breakdown and mocking masculinity, making it seem like there's something wrong to be a man, all of this contributes to the breakdown of family.
Tupac Shakur, the late rapper, once said, "I know for a fact that had I had a father, I'd have some discipline, I'd have more confidence." He admitted he began running with gangs because he wanted the things a father gives to a child, especially to a boy: structure and protection. "Your mother cannot calm you down the way a man can," Shakur said. "You need a man to teach you how to be a man." Children who grow up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in prison. The Journal of Research on Adolescence confirms that even after controlling for varying levels of household income, kids in father-absent homes are more likely to end up in jail, and kids who never had a father in the house are the most likely to wind up behind bars. In 1960, 5% of America's children entered the world without a mother and father married to each other. By 1980, it was 18%. By 2000, it had risen to 33%, and 15 years later, the number reached 41%. Fathers matter. Until we have a government policy that makes that its first priority, nothing will change.
So what I'm saying in essence is this, without taking much of your time. I don't agree with the focus, because I look at the language in your letter. The forum is going to dismantle patriarchy, change the attitude and behavior and mindset. That means there's already a presumption that the attitude and behavioral mindset of these boys, maybe these are boys that have been found to be, involved in all those things. Yeah, that's okay. But what I'm saying is that we have girls. You see, that's where I'm coming from. We have girls who have been taught the opposite by their mothers, by the adult females in their lives. Like the girl I said, it was in the video. If you want me to send you the video, I will. Now, I have daughters too. I have issues of behavior from my 14-year-old girl based on what the mother has been trying to teach her. I've just been lucky that I've been such an involved father that I've been able to kind of mitigate the damage. Now, there are other girls that have been taught these things, and they are growing up, and some of them are women already, and they are doing these things. So all I'm saying is that initiative should kind of have a balance. I know you said it's selected boys, so probably these are going to be boys that have displayed some tendencies. I agree. I'm just saying that it shouldn't end there, because if a boy becomes reformed today, and because of what he has been taught, he now begins to treat women with respect, what if he gets into the hands of an abusive woman? What happens? The whole tables are turned. Then probably he commits suicide. If he doesn't commit suicide, he kills somebody because he's angry that somebody is trying to abuse him. Either way, the boys need to know also that there are some women who are dangerous for them to be around, that they need to be alert to certain tendencies from certain kinds of abusive females who are not in few numbers anymore. So I'm just saying that the message to me, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but for me, I just think the focus, and I'll say, for me, in order for me to get the acknowledgement for what I'm doing, I don't need it. I'm not getting money from anybody, but I want to be able to reach out to people that need this thing. The adults, males, and the young males, they need help to defend themselves. These things are happening. Those are my own primary target audiences. All right. If I see any males that are misbehaving along the lines of what you have described, of course, I always address it. I always tackle it. But I'm just saying that my priority, the priority I'm according, is to these people that I've described. Right now, you see the problem. Right now, what we have is just an emphasis, an ongoing, a continuous, a relentless emphasis on the conventional way of looking at this subject, and it has changed a lot. The narrative has changed a lot, but we seem not to be willing to acknowledge it in a public manner. We have to. So for me, any initiative I'm going to be part of, I'm just speaking my mind. I would like for that initiative to be more balanced. Like I told you, I have always had a problem with the fact that the language I've always used is your husband beating you. That my life is proof that it's not always the husband doing it. And anybody can tell any story they like, and if people don't believe me, no problem. But because of what I've experienced, I know that my sons are in danger. Even if I'm not on good terms with all my sons, I still know that they are in danger, and they are my kids, so I'm looking out for them. How? I want to make sure that the environment is safe for them to function as males. They are growing up, then they will realize that having a male reproductive organ is a bit of a death sentence when it comes to dealing with women and having disagreements with women. Because the minute the woman opens her mouth, you are guilty as charged until proven innocent, which rarely ever happens. So forgive me if I'm saying it this way, but I'm just being honest with you. I really, the entire content, the message in your letter, it just doesn't agree with my own vision about what I want to do with domestic violence. I think, if we are to be honest with ourselves, I think the issue of gender-based violence, we need to really begin to. I'm not saying rape and all these things are not happening. I'm not saying that, but I think we need to begin to check ourselves. Was this problem of rape as bad as this before feminism became an issue in Nigeria? I think people are missing it. I don't know if you have thought about it. Now we have more single parents who are mothers, who are women. Single parenting is even a fad now. It's a fashion statement now. We don't need men. It's a fashion statement. Then who are the ones giving back to these boys that are going around raping and disrespecting girls? Where are they coming from? I don't think anybody has given thought to that. This period when women are even shouting for more respect and giving more respect, and anything you say against a man now as a woman, the man is immediately doomed and ruined. And yet this is the period when we're having more bad male behavior. Who is the one that is raising these males that are behaving like this? Some must have been their mother, somebody must have been their father. But if their fathers keep getting told that they are guilty, at least the mother should try and raise good boys. Is it that the fathers are stopping the mothers from raising good boys? Because each of these boys that are doing these bad things had a mother. Has anybody bothered to interview the mother and say, what kind of boy did you produce? Because I think we're not asking ourselves these questions. When they grow up and they begin punching somebody's daughter now, somebody will say he's a man, but they forget that somebody raised him who was a woman. Every one of these perpetrators had a mother. What did the mother put in him? Did they let the father play a role? Did they all have husbands that were abusive? Is there any of these children that came from a home where they didn't have an abusive father? It's interesting. Maybe we need to check those stats before we begin to point fingers at the boys. The boys just don't grow up in a bubble. Somebody raised them, and it is impossible for a boy to come to this world without being delivered through a woman. Now, that woman, was she around to play the role of a mother, or are all these boys street boys? Did they grow up on the streets, or did they have a home? If they had a home, what did the mother do to influence the character of the boy? I don't think many people are asking, but these are the things I'm asking. I have a lot of material I'm preparing, and I assure you, I'm going to be doing mobile workshops. And the funny thing is this: most of them actually have stable homes. They don't have problems in their home. It's funny, but they have friends who are going through hell in their homes. They're telling me stories. These are people that are in their late 60s, late 50s. I'm just 50. So madam, I hope this was not too long for you. I'm going to do a formal reply, but maybe I'll just hint you now. My reply is going to be along the lines of what I've said. I'm going to be saying that for me, I think if I'm going to be part of it, the things I would like the things I would like to have the opportunity to communicate to the young people I'm going to speak to. It has to be a balanced message. I think if we do it this way, in my opinion, based on my experiences, as a man who is on the streets, I think it will not really address the issue. There's a bigger picture. In fact, we shouldn't even, like I said, do these young people, these selected boys, do they have parents? We need those parents also to hear a message. I don't know if you've thought about that, but I'm asking you to think about it if you have the time. consider making the parents, I didn't say the woman or the man, the parents, if it's a single mother, then it's the mother. If it's they have both parents, then father and mother, we should have a message for them too. This thing cannot be done in isolation. The young boys that we're talking to, they have parents, they have homes they came from. What kind of environment are they living in? What are the kind of ideas they've been hearing since they were growing up? These are the things that form a human being. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And I'm determined that I'm going to play a role in doing this. If I can partner with any agencies, I'm open to it. But like I said, I would not like my message, the core message I see as being necessary. Men, as far as I'm concerned, men are in danger. There's a group of very, very cunning-minded females, abusive females, that are pushing the agenda of feminism in a very destructive manner. And I refuse to let it swallow me up. This is my own position anyway. And as I said, I will write you formally and just kind of let you know my response. All right.